any person who is in power would have to say that. One, because you would as well be, if you're cornered, political correctness. Okay, so they have to say that. Second is sometimes they are misinformed, or they want to misinform, like Obama. Third is, well, it's from your country. Right?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Actually, you're true about that. That's true. The only birth certificate he has is not an American one. Anyway, so the third is actually that if anyone wants to con you into thinking that Islam is peaceful, they can. Because, one, there are verses in the Quran that are peaceful. Two is because of your ignorance of the Islamic traditions and history sometimes and science. So I'll give you one simple thing. So the Quran is divided into chapters. They are called in Arabic surahs. They are arranged by length. Apart from the first one, it's a very short one, seven verses. Then after that, it's all the lengthiest, and then second and third and so on, until the shortest one at the very end, 114 chapters. In the first two, you will find some of the verses that are really peaceful. Okay? Actually, Surah 109 says that you have your religion, I have my religion, you would worship your God, I would worship my God, you don't worship my God, I don't worship your God. And all is fine, and okay? Surah 2 and another verse, it says, well, there is no compulsion in religion. Brilliant, yeah? And do you have anything against that? Nothing. And if you have some of the people, so now we have Islam in the world. You have the conventional Islam, beside it the Wahhabi Islam, that's that extreme. And then you have the westernized Islam, you have the reformists. These are the theologians who are trying to make Islam into a nicer picture. Tariq Ramadan, for example, if you hear about that name, he's a professor in Oxford University. He was born and raised in Switzerland. He is the grandson of the founder of Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah. So you have all those things. So you have the reforms, and then you have the liberal Muslims. They are close to the liberal Christians, really rubbish. So anyway, you have all of these. You have all of these people, and then, so if the reformists and the westernized or Christianized Islam are talking to you, okay, they have European values, westernized values, okay, and they talk the language that you're talking. They would pick and choose those things from the Quran and from the life of Muhammad, the hadith and the traditions. And they would talk to you about that. And they are living similar to that. Okay? So you would believe it. So you would talk like that. But if you understand, for example, one of the rules, and actually Muslim scholars, they say, if you don't understand that law, you don't understand anything about Islam. So a law called abrogation. Anyone heard about it? Okay, so abrogation is one verse would cancel another. So it supersedes and therefore cancels. So all the verses from Medina that came later on, so it started in Mecca, went to Medina and so on. So the verses in Medina that are very aggressive, even one verse can cancel up to 120 verses. Okay? So all the verses that are really nice, let's say for example, you would find closest to you the people of the book, especially the Christians. Okay? Give you another verse. So when you find the unbelievers and you find the people of the book, the Christians and the Jews, so smite them and kill them until they would say La ilaha illallah and they pay the jizya. Or they pay the jizya. Okay? The jizya, by the way, is not tax, it's a penalty. So it's coming from the root word jaza, which is penalty. So you're paying a penalty because you are not a Muslim. You're not, paying taxes like a Muslim is paying zakah, for example. They would say that. That's erroneous. That's not true. So this is why they would say things like that. They don't understand, for example, the law of abrogation. So you have two texts, but you will be told they are just choosing to lean on that verse, and they have the wrong interpretation for it because they don't have the kind of situational or contextual reason for that verse, which was a very particular situation. They were attacked and all of that, which is actually, when you go to the truth, the history about it, it wasn't like that.
So how concerned should we, thank you for that, how concerned should we be when we hear things like from Britain, or we look at our Western cities, what should be our reaction to the Muslims in our communities, in Bromley or in Berlin or whatever? What can we do? How fearful should we be of them? Are they getting converts, or is it just by birth rate? Just give us a little background from your point of view.
The Islamic agenda in Europe is through everything. So birth rate, yes. Through marriages, yes. Through immigration, absolutely. Through conversion, absolutely. Just in the past 10 years, the number of white people converted to Islam in this country doubled. Doubled. Yeah. Doubled.
The last year.
No, in thousands. We're talking about 10,000 people.
But is that through marriage? Is that because the wife has...
Some through relationships, yes, but some actually the relationships didn't continue. So one of the people I will tell you of is a judge in the court, a high judge, and she converted to Islam. Here's the thing, Islam in Europe is a real threat. Whether you'd like to believe that or not, honestly, I would really encourage you, wake up, smell, I'm not sure it's coffee, but it is a real threat. And this is the mistake that we've done all through our lives, okay? We thought that it is away from us, it is too tiny, it will not change the secular society, it is not a threat, and every time we've proved wrong, okay? Americans never thought, never dreamt of 9/11, yes? So I'll tell you another thing that is a real concern that you should think of. For years now, Turkey is trying to get into the European Union, yes, and they are trying to, move into that. They are investing a lot in the Balkans, yes, and they are investing in other places. They are getting money from Arab countries, Islamic countries, and as well from Russia, as far as I understand. If you look at their economy, they don't have that much money, but they are investing. Here is the thing, if Turkey comes into the European Union, overnight, the European Union would become Islamic. Here is the reason. Still till now, in the Turkish law, anyone that belonged or was part of the Ottoman Empire can come, apply for a Turkish immigration or citizenship, and he would get it. How many would be citizens in the European Union? Okay, let's count. Syria, Egypt, Lebanon, Morocco, Algeria, Libya, the Balkans, Saudi Arabia, everywhere. Iraqi, everywhere. Okay, we're talking about millions. So under the European Union and the European Union law and all of those things, who will have the majority?
So I'm sorry, are you saying then that, and if the Europeans invited Turkey into the Union, let me get this clear, are you saying that all from these other Arab countries will be given citizenship of
If they
Turkey,
apply for it,
and
yes.
therefore would have citizenship of the EU?
Absolutely.
They bring the
If they apply for it, yes. And as soon as few people would apply for it and get to move to Europe, everyone will do. Yeah? So yes, Islam is a real threat to Europe. And the real problem, if you want my opinion, is one, how many, apart from it's really a breath of fresh air, okay? How many in your mission programs and mission training, you get 6 weeks to know about Islam? How many in your churches get to hear once in the whole year about Islam? Come on, guys, how would people have the heart towards something that they don't hear about? Okay? That's one. Another problem is church planting is absolutely important. Here's the thing. Dream big. Don't dream to have bigger churches. Dream big, which means, to me, reach more people for Christ.